Welcome to our discussion on this compelling topic, a deep dive into how Western powers allegedly misuse justice as a hegemonic tool, as explored by Dimitri Lascaris.
I'm excited to unpack this, especially since Dmitry, as a lawyer, journalist, and activist, really takes no prisoners when it comes to dissecting power dynamics, right?
Exactly. It's like he's exposing the use of lawfare, where law is weaponized to, further political control.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
fascinating angle on justice.
So, what really stands out about his approach in this content?
Well, firstly, Dimitri's background is critical. He's been around the legal field for decades, having worked in various law firms, and now he mixes that expertise with activism and journalism.
I get that.
It gives his arguments a lot of weight.
It seems like his platform, Reason to Resist, is kind of a counterbalance to mainstream narratives, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's interesting because he weaves together legal insights, historical context, and current political dynamics, especially focusing on West Asia and the situation in Palestine. His analysis
Yep, so
feels
true.
both meticulous and pointed.
I noticed the title really sums it up: Lawfare and Lies, the West's Abuse of Justice for Hegemony. It's almost like a rallying cry, don't you think?
Definitely, it's like he's saying that the very tools designed to uphold justice, courts, law enforcement, are instead being twisted to serve geopolitical agendas. And that raises
Yeah, that's
some
a bold
pretty deep
statement.
questions about what justice looks like in today's world.
Speaking of justice, does he offer concrete examples or like historical precedents where this abuse is evident?
Yes, he does. Although the full video runs for almost 54 minutes, he touches on a range of cases and legal measures where it appears that justice is not behind the letter of the law, but behind, strategic interests.
Right.
It's this pattern across different cases that he unearths.
And do you think he challenges the legitimacy of some of these legal actions, or is it more nuanced?
It's pretty nuanced, actually. He challenges the idea that these legal actions are impartial. He argues that rather than being objective, they're tailored to suppress dissent and to maintain hegemony. But
I
he
see.
also backs up his claims with a lot of historical and legal context, which is refreshing.
Interesting. It sounds a bit like he's countering the common narrative that Western justice is universally fair.
Exactly. And he suggests that what many people take for like fairness is often a front for political maneuvering.
Yeah, absolutely.
His perspective really urges us to reconsider how we view legal legitimacy.
Now, one thing I find intriguing is his use of personal experience. Does he mention how his career possibly shaped his views on this?
Yes, he does. He shares insights from decades in legal circles, which give his analysis an insider's
Right?
perspective.
That insider look is key.
It adds a layer of authenticity, almost like he's seen how the levers of justice can be tilted.
That must be quite a heavy burden, knowing the realities behind the scenes, right?
Indeed. And it ties into his role as an activist, too. He's not just observing, he's actively resisting what he sees as systemic injustice.
Makes sense.
It's that blend of professional insight and passionate resistance that really fuels his argument.
But how do we know if his take is balanced? Could it be argued that he's overly critical of Western institutions?
That's a fair point. I mean, while his past provides credibility, there's always the risk of bias when someone has both personal and ideological stakes in the narrative.
Yeah, I get that.
It's a challenge to separate critique from agenda.
So you're saying that while his evidence is robust, we should still approach his conclusions with a bit of healthy skepticism?
Precisely. And that's where it gets interesting because it opens up space for debate. His analysis invites others to scrutinize not just his evidence, but the wider framework of lawfare itself.
Exactly, true.
It's like a call to arms for further exploration and discussion of these critical issues.
Let's talk a bit about the stylistic elements of his presentation. From what I've seen, it seems the content is auto-dubbed for some languages. Does that affect the message?
That's a good observation. The auto-dubbing can introduce slight variations in tone and clarity, but overall, the core message remains intact.
Right. I guess it's a small
His message
trade-off
about
for
the
reaching a
misuse
global
of
audience.
justice transcends linguistic boundaries.
Absolutely. And his reach is amplified not just through YouTube, but platforms like Substack and podcasts too, helping spread these ideas further.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting because alongside his legal dissections, he also ventures into culturally and politically charged topics, merging hard facts with impassioned storytelling.
That storytelling
It makes
really
the
drives the
critique
point home.
resonate on multiple levels.
You mentioned earlier his focus on West Asia and Palestine. How does that tie into the overarching narrative of Western hegemony?
Well, it's very interlinked. Dmitry argues that the strategic use of justice in these regions often serves to legitimize political and military actions that benefit Western interests. It shows that
Yep,
what
that's quite a
appears as
claim.
legal intervention might actually be another front for power projection.
And I suppose this challenges the conventional view where legal processes in these regions are accepted at face value.
Exactly. It forces us to ask whose interests are really being served when legal actions are taken. Is it justice or is it just another tool for exerting influence?
Very thought-provoking. Definitely. It's like peeling away layers to reveal the underlying motives.
Yeah, it's like when you look at a beautifully wrapped gift and then wonder, why is it so extravagantly
Right, I
packaged?
totally get that.
The exterior might sell the image of fairness, but inside there could be a very different reality.
And speaking of reality, do you think his perspective could lead to any practical shifts in how international law is viewed or even practiced?
He certainly hopes so. His entire approach is a call for a re-evaluation of our legal and political systems.
That could be
He
revolutionary.
wants us to critically analyze if these systems are serving justice or merely reinforcing dominance.
I can see how that message might be polarizing, though. Some might say he's oversimplifying complexities.
Yes, that's a valid critique. While he draws on solid legal experience, some might
Yeah, I
argue
can see that.
his analysis skips over the counter-arguments of, say, the need for stable international law to maintain order.
Right. And there's a fine line between critiquing power structures and dismissing the legitimacy of legal institutions entirely, isn't there?
Absolutely. And that's what makes his content so engaging. It sparks debate. He's not providing easy answers. Instead, he's inviting all of us to question the status quo and consider alternative viewpoints on how
Exactly,
justice
that's
is
the essence of a
weaponized.
good debate. So, wrapping up, it seems that Dimitri Lascaris' work holds up a mirror to Western judicial practices, urging us to see beyond the superficial facade of impartial justice, doesn't it?
Precisely. His blend of legal expertise, activist passion, and a willingness to challenge mainstream narratives makes his discussion not only relevant, but essential for anyone interested in understanding global power dynamics.
Right on, that's a powerful takeaway. Thanks for this insightful conversation. It definitely makes me rethink the complexity behind what we consider justice today.
My pleasure. It's always great to dive into these tough topics and challenge ourselves to see things from different angles. Until next time.